Hawaii, a stunning array of islands set in the middle of the greatest ocean on Earth. Birthed from the depths of the Pacific, these islands are a geographical and cultural wonder. More than just a place of beauty, Hawaii possesses a cultural history of self-reliance and balance between its people and the natural resources surrounding them. The Hawaiian people lived a self-sustainable lifestyle for generations through their ahupua'a land management system, which were wedge-shaped districts that stretched from the mountains to the sea. Ahupua'a were self-sufficient areas where residents lived off of the diverse natural resources available to them. Hawaii is made up of 8 main islands. The island of Oahu is called the Gathering Place and is home to Honolulu, Hawaii's capital. On the west coast of Oahu is a district, a moku named Waianae, that has several ahupua'a within it. Waianae possesses breathtaking geography with abundant ocean and marine resources, fertile soils with land suitable for agricultural production, and commercial areas being used for profitable business activity. Today, in the face of competing cultural views, educational challenges, economic stagnation, and widening wealth gaps, there is a rediscovery taking place that is bringing solutions and hope to younger generations. A growing number of organizations and people are reconnecting local residents to traditional values and practices. These historically successful methods are being expanded on and combined with innovative concepts and technology to bring positive social change to a community in need. They are rediscovering cultural and economic self-reliance, from the mountains to the sea, from Mauka to Makai. Deep in the back of Waianae Valley, where the mountains touch the sky, there is a kipuka, an oasis. It's here that young and old alike come to connect with their history, their ancestors, and all that surrounds them. This is Ka'ala Farm. Founded in the 1970s, Ka'ala is a place of inspiration and connection, as they have brought back to life the ancient taro terraces and living culture of the Po'e Kahiko, the people of old.
Ka'ala Farm is a cultural learning center. We started by being a youth program, and we began coming up here and opened it up and rediscovered the land, rediscovered water, rediscovered our traditional agriculture. So that began our journey.
Each year, thousands of people come to spend time at the Learning Center as they reconnect to the land, their culture, and to learn about giving back to their community. Ka'ala's many programs flow from their core 4th grade education program, where students learn the traditional ways of living in an ahupua'a, about gathering, growing, and eating the simple foods that come from the land and sea. Students also learn about the bark cloth and kapa making that all women used to do in ancient times.
If it wasn't for their ancestors being on this land at one time, they wouldn't be here today. So when they come and they can actually be on the same area, walk in the same taro patches that their ancestors survived on, I believe that's the aloha that comes through. The aloha that they gave back then is that vibration of that aloha is still here. And it's, so although we're an educational center, we're a healing center at the same time.
It really is the youth and transferring that knowledge from adult to child. And you can see the young children, you can see the teenagers and their passion. And I think that really is where the heart and core of our work is.
Ka'ala's innovative partnership with the Hawaiian Studies program at Waianae High School brings students onto the land, giving them opportunities to do significant things like help to map the historical sites in Waianae Valley.
What the kids are pretty much doing sort of pristine work is that nobody's done what they were doing before. So they're the ones doing the mapping of the valley, and they're the ones doing the initial excavations and help writing up the reports. So it's really a way to train them to think about things in a different way.
We find that when we work with children and inspire them to think creatively about the community that they're in, to find solutions, the children have that possibility of recreating their world. And I think that's where our job comes in, is to recreate that space for children to see that there are other ways, and to get them engaged in a process and actually being part of the solution.
Just across the valley is another innovative farm that is changing the way the youth of Waianae look at their land and their lives. Mao Farms is a non-profit social enterprise that is combining the cultural practices of the past with modern business methods to find practical solutions to the challenges of the day. Mao Farms has grown quickly to become the largest organic farm on Oahu that sells to many of the top chefs and restaurants, farmers markets, and stores in the state. The workers are interns, and Waianae area natives that receive a monthly stipend give 20 hours a week to the farm and receive a full scholarship to college in return.
Our program is designed to return them to the wholeness, return them to the context of health that their ancestors existed in, by having them be responsible. What's the implication of us rebranding our community as a space of high poverty, at risk, so forth, to like the Center for Sustainable Innovations and Sustainable Agriculture, Innovations and Cultural Practices, that not only leads our community and state, but leads to a great extent the nation. What's the impact of having more kids from our community go to college? What's the impact of having farmland in our community used for farming, and moreover used for food production, for local consumption? It's encapsulated in the name of the internship, the youth leadership training. It's not the youth farm training, nor is it the youth academic training, it's leadership. It's in that word leadership that we're able to assess if we're meeting both of those criteria, if we're being rooted in a traditional sense of responsibility, while also being able to navigate the modern context in which we exist. To say that, look, our ancestors' prerogatives of what was considered pono was the land was in abundance, the people were happy and full, and there was a sense that community was powerful. The Western metrics of success is: are you going to college? Is your business expanding? And all these are, yes, we're hitting those as well. And by doing both, what happens is that we lend credence to, it validates our culture, and it validates the practices of our ancestors, not as culture anymore, but as a science, as a technology, as an economic paradigm. We're hoping to use the sciences and technologies and spirituality, that was bequeathed to us to provide answers not just for our community, but for our global community as well.
We do more than just grow vegetables. We grow leaders and help our community be a healthier place. It's like we get to teach the next generation younger than us what we do and how we learn and how our culture and how our ancestors did it, living off the land. And so it brings honor, I guess you could say, to be able to pass it on to the next generations and the youth that's coming up.
The combination of global leadership and cultural restoration doesn't end on the farm in Waianae. It extends to one of the most modern housing developments in the world with Kaupuni Village. The group of 19 homes was conceived and implemented by the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, which patterned the plan after a traditional village structure, with the focus being sustainable living, self-sufficiency, and cultural preservation. The first net zero affordable LEED Platinum certified housing subdivision in the nation, Kaupuni Village was the result of a tremendous community effort, with numerous organizations and businesses providing the land, funding, consultation, and expertise throughout the build. For the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, this development fulfills their mandate, which stems from the vision of Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalanianaole.
Well, Kuhio's intention was to give Hawaiians access to their land so that they could rehabilitate themselves, return to their roots and their traditions and practices.
Kaupuni is based on the Ahupua'a concept of sustainability and includes a number of opportunities to reconnect families into a village-type community, including a community center, aquaponics, imu or underground oven, a community garden, cultural lifestyle classes, and a community association. For many of the families, this is a real opportunity to reconnect with their culture and teach their children the way of the future.
Living in here, it's all about love, you know. Our Hawaiian ancestors, they just showed everybody love, you know, love for fish, love for the land, love for animals, love for their people. Most of all, love for God.
My goal for our community is sustainability. I want to see the Hawaiian children on Kaupuni strive. My children are learning hands-on. I've never in my life done anything like this. So to give this back to my children, that's the only thing I can hope for. You know, I don't want my Hawaiian culture to disappear. I want it to live within me and my children, and that's how I'm making that connection, and that's the hope I have for them.
Ultimately, this is about connecting people, the Aina, and aloha. Aloha Aina.
Aina, it was that which provides life. You can think of it as physical food, or you can think of it as spiritual food. It's not just the earth itself, it can include the ocean and all the forces that affect it, the rain, the wind, the clouds, the rocks, they're all part of the Aina. If you look at how our kupuna phrase the words, it's deep in poetry, it's deep in thinking, it goes into the foundation of being of who we are. If we say aloha aina, that means we are caring for it as we care for our children, as we care for our families. It's inseparable. So the aina is inseparable from our families.
Waianae is a place where the old and the new are meeting in exciting new ways. It's where the multicultural richness of Hawaii can flower in a fullness that respects and treasures tradition, but captures all the promise of the future. This wonderful place called Waianae, where the lessons and values from the past can lead us to solutions for today and into the future.